I can't even lift all of these books. There's too many. Hi. My 24th birthday was a few days ago, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I bought myself 24 books. This all started, like most good stories do, with a trip to Barnes & Noble, and then Half Price Books, which is a used bookstore here. And I got home and realized I had bought 22 books. And I thought, I'm only 2 shy of 24 for my 24th birthday. So it'd be a crime not to go back to another Half Price Books and get myself 2 more books. Like, who could do that? This close to such an amazing accomplishment, and you want me to just pass that right up? Was it a good decision? I'm not sure, but it gave me a lot of serotonin, and that's what a girl needs on her birthday. So it was worth it. I feel like we should go in chronological order. So we'll start with the Barnes haul. So I went in with a game plan. I actually had a few books on my list that were like non-negotiables, and I found most of them, not all of them, but the ones that were the most important they had. So it was a good trip. The first thing that was a non-negotiable for me was the Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. Specifically, I wanted the original covers. I don't know if you've seen, but they are redoing these covers. They're already out at Barnes & Noble. They were even at the used bookstore already. I don't know how. And I hate them. I really hate them. Will you shut up? So I really wanted to get these before they were gone. And I was so happy that my Barnes actually had a box set left. They didn't even sell the individuals of these original covers anymore. I think these are unique covers and I've always liked them. So now I have them. Do I need another fantasy series when I have so many I've not started? No, but I mean, how could I not? Let's actually open this so I can show you the covers that I just desperately needed to have. So we have the first one, A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light. It's not like the covers are the most beautiful thing or anything, but I just really like them. I like the color scheme, and I hate the new ones so much. So, very happy about these. I want to make a nice little stack that we can just watch grow. The next thing I just had to get was an Ellen Hildebrand book because I've been wanting to read her books for so long, and it's summer, so it's the perfect time. So I got Winter in Paradise, which is the first in a series. I'm not sure what the series is called, but I've heard Destiny Sidwell talk about this one, and it sounded really interesting. It's about a woman whose husband dies, I think, in a plane accident, and she finds out that he has a whole secret life, I think, with another family. So her and her son are just figuring out what the heck happened. Next, I got Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I got this because I actually picked up Yours Truly, which is her newest release, at Costco a while ago. And then I realized that it's the second book in this series. Everybody seems to love both these books. This one is about a girl who, her whole family is made up of doctors and surgeons, and they want her to follow in their legacy, but she meets some guy who's just like, I think he's a carpenter, and I think he lives in kind of like a sleepy little town. So she has to choose between the 2 different worlds, his world or the one that her parents want her to be in, like being a surgeon and all that. I also got When in Rome by Sarah Adams because I've been seeing this book and the next one that also just came out. I don't know what it's called, but I've been seeing these everywhere. Everyone loves these books, and it's a really short, just cute sounding rom-com. So perfect for summer, and it was on the buy one get one 50% off table, so I couldn't help myself. This is about an actress or a singer who decides to get away and drive to Rome, Kentucky. And I think she's like following an Audrey Hepburn movie, and she meets this guy who is a baker, and it's a little rom-com. That's about all I know, but it looks really cute. So then I started just perusing the buy one get one 50% off tables, and I found The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. This is about a woman who is really obsessed with this couple. They have what looks like the perfect life, and she really wants to be a part of it, and so she like makes her way into kind of being part of like the family. And I think it's a thriller. I don't really know what else happens. I'm gonna go in pretty blind, but I was very excited to see this because I've been recommended it a bunch but have never seen it in store, so there we have it. Sticking with the sale table, my boyfriend actually was there with me and he picked out If We Were Villains by ML Rio. He's actually seen this before when we've been in Barnes and he just really likes the cover and he likes that this special edition one has black sprayed edges. So he picked this out and I was like, yeah, sure. It's been on my list for a long time. Why not? This is about, I think, a group of theater students who are in a Shakespeare play, and I think that all of them kind of become obsessed with their Shakespeare characters. I'm not really sure, but they kind of blur the lines, I think, between the characters they're playing and who they are in real life. I could be completely wrong, but that is what I've gathered. And then I was so excited to see The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is our second part of today's video that's inspired by Larry Reads. She just read this in one of her reading blogs and was obsessed with it. I think she read the whole series and loved it. She could not stop raving about it. It is like young adult Criminal Minds, which sounds amazing. I love Criminal Minds. So when this was on the BOGO table, I was like, snag, easy pick. So I am very excited about this one. Last book from Barnes was Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is interesting. This is part of the Never After series, which are, I think, dark romance retellings of Disney stories. And this one is about Captain Hook and I think Wendy. So I don't know what I'm getting into with this one, but I've heard that this series is really good and everyone's been talking about the author lately on TikTok. So I was like, well, it's been on my list for a long time. I should just pick it up. I'm a little scared for this one. It sounds very different from what I'm used to reading, but that's good, branching out, right? Now at Half Price Books, they gave me a whole box to bring my stuff out in. So it looks like this was an Amazon order, but it wasn't. For some reason, they gave me an Amazon box with some man's name and address on it, which seems like they shouldn't have done that. So something I've been thinking about for a while is getting the whole Harry Potter series in hardcover because I love it. And one, my copies are really beat up, and two, I think the hardcovers are just so much more pretty, and I have them displayed on my shelf, and I would like to have the hardcovers, but I don't want to go buy them new. Definitely don't want to pay full price. So I started looking at the Half Price Books near me, and it's pretty small, and they've never had them. So I went to a different Half Price Books, one that's much larger, and got almost every single one. They had multiple copies of almost every one, and so I got to pick out the most pristine one that I wanted. And the only one I didn't get, I think, was number 2, because I think they only had one copy and it didn't match the rest of these. It was missing the number at the top that says which book it is, and it was a little beat up. So I passed on that one. I just think they're so pretty in the hardcovers, and this style is my favorite covers that they have. This is what my paperbacks are, and they're just stunning. I got The Sorcerer's Stone, The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Goblet of Fire, She is Thick, The Order of the Phoenix, The Half-Blood Prince, and The Deathly Hallows. Let me just show you, when I'm saying that my paperbacks are beat up, I mean that with the exception of the last 2, they're pretty beat up. And, what? I have had this book since the 3rd grade, and I don't know who tried to eat it, but she's busted. So I owed it to myself to get an upgrade. And the other good thing is, that's 6 of these books that are not added to my physical TBR. So that's good. The rest of these books are new to me. Those were the only repurchases, I guess you would call it. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that this Half Price Books I was at was a gold mine. They had so many good books that were in pristine condition for literally half the price. Exhibit A. I found the entire Broken Earth trilogy in amazing condition for about $8 each. The series is by N.K. Jemisin, and I have heard amazing, amazing things about this and the author in general. So I was so excited when I saw this. I have no idea what this series is about, but it's been on my TBR for forever, and now I have them all. So yay. One thing about me is I just cannot keep myself out of the fantasy section, and then I buy a million fantasy series and I'm too afraid to start them because they're all series and I'm scared. But anyways, that is a problem for another day. I got the 5th season, the Obelisk Gate, I don't know if I said that right, and the Stone Sky. The used fantasy book gods must have been shining down on me that day, because I also found the complete War of Lost Hearts trilogy. Actually, I'm not sure if this is a trilogy, maybe more books will come out, but I'm pretty sure there's only 3 out right now. This is by Carissa Broadbent, and I've been seeing this book everywhere. Sarah Caroli loves this, along with everyone on TikTok, and I've been dying to read it for like 6 months now. This is about a girl who was sold into slavery and she ends up buying her way out. And then I'm not really sure what happens after that. Okay, she goes to apprentice with this guy, Max. And I know that he is the love interest. This is supposed to be a really good fantasy romance. And that's about all I know and all I want to know, because I just want to go in with no thoughts. So yeah, I felt very lucky to find these. I couldn't leave them there all alone. I had to get the whole thing. Our stack is getting too big. That didn't help at all. We've just got to start another stack, I guess. So we've got Daughter of No Worlds, Children of Fallen Gods, and Mother of Dawn. And she is thick. Okay, we're in the home stretch. So this is what I originally bought, and then I came home and realized I was 2 books short of buying 24 for my 24th birthday. So then the next day, I went back to the Half Price Books by my house, which is nowhere near as good, but I still found 2 books that I'm super excited about. The first is What Happens in Paradise by Ellen Hilderbrand. So this is actually book 2 in the Winter in Paradise series that I got earlier. I actually thought about getting the box set while I was at Barnes or getting the first 2, but I held off, and I'm glad I did because I found this one for half the price. So there she is. Oh, we're on to the last book and I'm kind of sad now. Well, last one is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, and I've never read any of his books. I actually have The House in the Cerulean Sea and I put it on my summer TBR, so I hope I get to it. But I've heard nothing but good things about this author, and his books sound like they are just cozy fantasy. So this one is about a man who one day is just at his own funeral. I don't know how that happens. And the Grim Reaper shows up to take him, and he needs to cross over into death or whatever. And he actually has a week to cross over, and so he decides to try and live out like his best life in those 7 days before he crosses over. So hopefully this isn't sad. Maybe it is, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. So that is the end of my gigantic birthday haul. I hope you enjoyed. If you have recommendations of what I should read first, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.